elk starts coming up a steep ridge. Gets to the top of the ridge, he's 3 feet from my buddy at full draw. I am about 8 yards away. I'm like, wow, if he shoots, that elk's gonna run him over. So he had the wherewithal to stay at full draw. That elk turned broadside. He shot him at less than the distance of the length of his arrow. Hey guys and gals, I'm on my extremely close range testing facility. Super high tech. I got a tape measure on the ground there, and I have a target with 1-inch increments and a dime size bullseye. Not many guys practice this range, but I can tell you, I've been in situations where I needed to know exactly where my bow hits at these close ranges. So today we're gonna do a test, and we're gonna find out at 5, 10, and 15 feet, not yards, feet, where does your arrow hit the target when you're aiming at the bullseye with a 20-yard pin, okay? Then we're gonna find out where you need to move that pin to so that you hit the target in the bullseye at 5, 10, and 15 feet. Again, you don't think it's that big of a deal? It's a huge deal. I've had elk, I've had turkey, and I'll be moose hunting in the next month. I want to know where to put my pin when an animal comes that close. If you've been hunting long enough, it's gonna happen, okay? Check it out. I have some guys coming. They don't know the test that we're doing, so you're a little ahead of the game. See you in a few minutes. All right, guys and gals, we're about to do a little test here, and we have Anthony and Joe that have no idea what we're about to do. So we're gonna put them on film, and we're gonna see how they do. So, guys, behind us is a deer target. So, where would you shoot the deer, Joe?
If it was a realistic deer?
With this deer. You're gonna aim at a spot.
Right there.
Okay, you're gonna aim right there. Anthony, you too?
Sure.
Okay. Now. All right. So, Joe, you're up. I want you right here.
Yeah.
And your arrow is gonna be at 5 feet, and you're gonna shoot this deer. This is a situation that does happen in the woods. Guys, you see that? We got one right here, and Tony's gonna do it too. Basically, what just happened is Joe just screwed up on a deer at 5 feet, okay? We're gonna pull this arrow. Tony, I'm gonna back up so you can see Tony shoot. And Tony, do the same thing at 5 feet. Don't think about what Joe just did. Just take a shot and feel comfortable with it.
Does he move forward? Or is he good?
He's okay, he's at 5 feet. Aim with your 20-yard pin and be normal. Again, okay? Guys, what just happened here is they shot at 5 feet. And would you agree both of you shot low?
Absolutely.
You two guys just failed. You shoot with me, we hunt together. I know you can shoot. They both have brand new 2025 bows, but they both just missed at 5 feet. So looking at this, guys, how could you say you're going in the woods and you can't hit an animal at 5 feet? Exactly. So what we're gonna do right now, guys, is we're gonna do a video on why it's important to shoot at extremely close range. We do get shots at animals like this, but nobody practices at it. Nobody sees what happens at 5 feet. So we're gonna do a little test and measure out and compare your pin, a 20-yard pin, as you back up and where you need to aim if you're shooting 5, 10, and 15 feet. Sorry guys to trick you like that, but that's a realistic thing that nobody does. Hey guys, if you just saw what just happened on that deer, and it was done purposely. I let him shoot at 5 feet, and seeing where it hit is what everybody else does. They put that 20-yard pin on it and you shoot. And when you're shooting at a deer or another animal, that's what you're gonna do. You're not gonna think, oh, where should I be aiming? But right now, we're gonna find out exactly how this works. We have a tape measure on the floor, and we're gonna shoot at 5 feet, 10 feet, and 15 feet. We have a target with a dime size bullseye, and on the side, it's measured in inches. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna shoot at 5 feet. Then we're gonna see where the arrow hits. Then we're gonna dial the sight to the corresponding yardage that 5 feet would require to hit that bullseye. Does that make sense? Everybody understands? All right.
So you want me to keep it on my 20 pin for this first shot?
Yep, keep it on 20 pin. Okay. So 5 feet is right here. Okay. shoot. I'm gonna make sure you did. Shoot your 20-yard pin right at that bullseye. Okay. See where that went? Here's the bullseye. Say at 1, 2, 3 inches below the bullseye. So that's kind of what happened on a deer, guys. And if you were this close and it happened quick, you would just shoot. All right? So now, you're gonna dial your sight down to get that arrow to come up. The reason being, guys, this is why we're doing this. If you look at his sight and you look at his arrow, between his sight pin and his arrow is 4 inches. What did we just say that was? I don't know, 3.5 or something like that? As you shoot your bow, the arrow rises up to where the pin is. So we need to get the pin closer to the arrow at close range. It's kind of opposite of what you think, but so I would dial it down to, what do you want?
Want to try 40?
Try 40.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna do 40.
We'll do 40. Okay, that's 40.
Okay, so we dial it to 40. You're shooting at 5 feet again. And sorry for moving the camera, guys, but I want you to get a better angle and see what's happening here. Okay. At 5 feet, pins at 40. Shooting at 5 feet. Okay, that is 1 inch, 2.5 inches now.
About an inch up.
It came about an inch up. So now,
I'm gonna do 60.
now you're gonna do 60.
Okay.
Okay, so we're bringing it down to create a smaller distance between the pin and the arrow. That's what we're trying to do here for this test. And it was going down to 60 at 5 feet. When I say going down to, it was lowering his pin. You came up. You're almost there.
Yeah,
so
it's close.
Make it 65. And before this, I did my own test, and I was 65 feet.
65. So
we're about the same poundage. We ironically have the same bows.
Oh, yeah.
About the same arrow. So at 5 feet,
I'm surprised it's that much.
if you're 65 yards on your dial sight, you're never going to have the time to do that. But if you have 5 fixed pins and something comes into 5 feet, you put your 60-yard pin on it, you're going to be good.
And now I have a dial sight, so it's even tougher for me.
Right.
I'd have to actually physically dial all the way to 65.
Think about shooting 60.
Yeah.
You hold it high.
High, yeah.
So, okay, make sure you get back to 5 feet. This is 6, this is 5 feet.
Right about there.
Okay, I want the arrow to be behind 5 feet. Go ahead, draw.
Right there.
Yep, that's fine. Shooting at 65 yards. There you go. Oops, there you go. So we got an arrow in the target at 5 yards, at 5 feet with a 65-yard pin. It's exactly what we were looking for. Same thing happened at my bow. You're gonna back up to 10 feet now. And what do you think you're gonna do at 10 feet, Joe?
It's gonna probably be down at around 40.
Makes sense. The further you go back,
It's probably gonna bring it up.
right, because the arrow's starting to rise.
Yeah.
So let's try that. Okay, Joe, before you do that, put it back up to 20. We want to see where it hits at 20. So shoot it at 20 and see where it lands, and then shoot it at 40. Okay. So before we were 2.5 to 3 inches low. Now we're 1 inch, 2 inches low. So as you get further back, you're giving time for the arrow to rise up. So now, dial it to 40 and see where you are. Dead on. All right, guys. So he just, again, shot from 10 feet with his 40-yard pin and now hit the dime size section. We're going to back it up to 15. So this is going to be your guide now. And you're going to put this in your phone. Literally write these numbers in your phone so you know from now on where you shoot at 5, 10, and 15 feet. Steve and I learned this in the league the other night, getting our butts kicked at a 5-yard shot. But, you know, now we're going to back up to 15 feet and see what it does. We just got a question from Steve behind the camera over here. Why don't we just use our rangefinder to see what you should be aiming at? Here's a loophole, full draw RX, on RX full draw 5. It does not work at 5 feet. It does not work at 10 feet. At 15 feet, I still don't have a yardage. Beyond 15 feet, I just got 5.7 yards. So your rangefinder is not going to do this for you. You have to practice. You have to do this yourself. You're going in the woods without doing this technique right now. Someday, somewhere, it's going to happen to you. 15 feet. Right.
Yep, so.
Okay. You doing your 20-yard pin?
Yep. You want to do 20 first?
Yeah, I want to do 20. I want to see where it should be coming closer to the bullseye. Okay, it's about right. Yeah. I'm going to run up there. I'll speak from a distance here. You're about 1.5 inches low at 15
So it goes
feet.
up about an inch every 5 feet back.
Yeah, it goes up about an inch. That's about right.
Yep.
Everybody's
so now I'm gonna say 30.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're breaking it down. It's getting to be less and less.
Yeah. So
you went 65, 40,
now 30.
and now 30.
30.
Okay, that's what we're looking at. I can tell you guys, I was in Colorado. Not to throw money around, but it was probably an $8,000 hunt. And come here, Joe. So what happened was, we're calling an elk, and this is the reason why you do this. And first elk hunt, 2009, me and my hunting buddy Lou, and there's an elk bugling. He's doing all kinds of different cool gurgling elk noises. Elk starts coming up a steep ridge. Gets to the top of the ridge. He's 3 feet from my buddy at full draw. I am about 8 yards away. I'm like, wow, if he shoots, that elk's gonna run him over. So he had the wherewithal to stay at full draw. That elk turned broadside. He shot him at less than the distance of the length of his arrow. And of course he shot a little low, but you couldn't even see where you were gonna hit the elk was so close. So think about it. You go on a $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 trip and you have no idea where your bow shoots at that range. And that happened to me and my best friend hunting buddy on the first elk trip in Colorado. So think about it. You better know how to do this. Get up there, Joe.
All right, so we're doing 30, my 30-yard pin.
Yep, you were about an inch low on that last one. Okay. I mean, I think you're a tiny high, but you're still touching a dime-size target.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we're finishing up this test right now. You can see the inches, and the further back you went, the closer the arrow got to the bullseye. At 20 yards with this 20-yard pin, it should hit it. So, again, completing this test gave Joe some valuable information.
Absolutely.
I mean, he didn't know this was coming. I made him shoot at the deer without knowing. Him and Anthony shot at a deer at close range, and it was supposed to be low. I knew it was going to happen. And now, you have the answer. So if I put you in front of that deer at 5 feet again, what are you going to shoot at? What distance?
65 on the pin.
65 on your pin. Like Steve and I in the 3D shoot. 5 yards, I know to dial my pin at 65, or if I have my fixed pins, I'm going to basically use my 60 a tiny bit high as if I'm shooting 65. So that's a wrap.
Thank you. That was
Thank
great.
you, Joe. Glad you learned a little something. It took me to fail at the archery range to do this test. And I have those marks on my phone too. Hope you got something out of this, guys. Steve?
Like and subscribe.
I ain't going to say it, guys. That's why I bring Steve.
Like and subscribe.